everybody, and welcome back once again. Here we are again for another edition of Inside the Headset, Week 10, Game 10. I'm with the head coach of the Blackman Blaze, Coach Philip Shadowens. Coach, last Friday night took on Siegel, made you 9-0, and sitting in a pretty good position. Talk a little bit about the Siegel Stars in that game last Friday night.
Tough ball game. Never been a part of a game where you don't have one offensive snap in the whole first quarter. They drove the ball, scored a couple touchdowns. We returned 2 kickoffs and an interception for a touchdown all in the first quarter. So we were 21 and hadn't had an offensive play at the end of the first quarter. It's never been a part of anything like that. Thought they played well. Thought we got better. We played better. I mean, we were about 2 scores at half and had 2 possessions. You know, we were 35 points and had the ball twice.
Wow.
11 plays. They had 53 in the first half. So obviously we didn't get off the field defensively like we wanted to. They did a good job of executing their offense. We didn't do a great job of tackling. But in the second half, we came back, gave up 1 long touchdown pass for a score, made them punt I think 4 times, played much better defensively. But then offensively, we turned the ball over twice inside the 10 and had a 3rd turnover as well. Excuse me. But so wasn't a game that we played our best, but it was a game we won by 2 touchdowns, and we're 9-0.
Flip the headset and get underneath Coach Wyatt's headset. Tell me, where has Siegel really improved from, like, you saw them in week 0 and then you see them in week 8? Just where do you think some of the areas they really just grew up?
Well, I think they grew offensively. They're doing more offensively, probably trust. You know, obviously Jordan Middleton played, I love that kid. He played great. Played really tough. I mean, he threw some picks, but he was getting pounded pretty good. And we had a couple of big-time plays to stop drives, but I thought Greedy House played really well for him. I thought Jordan played terrific for him and did a great job of managing and running their offense, and so that's the biggest difference I see with them. I mean, is that they just have more confidence. I mean, you grow up over the course of the year. Had a bunch of kids that hadn't played as much on Friday nights. Now they've played, there was week 9 last week, so they've played, 8 full games. And so I think the confidence level in which they have their offense.
Some of them are starting to get it.
Yeah, they're starting to grow up. I mean, that's what happens when you play young kids. They eventually grow up and they're not young kids anymore. So I thought that was probably the biggest difference is offensively. I thought they executed really, really well. And some of, a lot of that was them, and some of that was we didn't execute very well defensively in the first half.
Right. Well, 200 miles, 30 hours lies your next opponent, and
3 hours.
3 hours. No, 30 hours. 30 hours.
Oh, 30 hours from game time. I thought you said it don't take 30 hours to drive that far. I mean, Lord have mercy. It takes
30 hours from now and 200 miles going down to Hoover. Bucks and Blaze. Talk a little bit about this matchup.
Should be fun. Obviously, you're playing a team that's been nationally ranked for the last decade, really. They've won, going into the year, they'd won 30 straight. They had lost 2 games in 4 years going into the year. And now they've gotten beat a couple times here this year. Lost the first 2 games to Miami Central, who's like the 6th in the country, and Colquitt County, which is top 10 in the country. So they're the same team they've been over these last few years, no doubt about it. And I'm getting distracted by everybody walking in the door right now.
That's all right. Go on, Coach. I'm sorry.
So they're great competition. I mean, it's a national power. They're ranked number 1 in 7A football in the state of Alabama. And should be fun. I mean, I can't wait. I mean, our kids are excited, and everybody says, well, it's week 10. It's the week before the playoffs. You got to be focused on the playoffs. I'll be honest with you. It's high school football. And yes, we have lots of dreams, just like everybody else does when the playoffs come, of winning the gold ball in December. But right now we're focused on week 10. It's a regular season game. It's against the best team in Alabama. And we want to just cut loose and go have fun playing the game of football. And I think that's what high school football is about. And we're not saving people for the playoffs. And I've been asked that 4,000 times this week.
Wow.
Are you going to just not let Juwan or Charlie, some of those kids play? No, they're playing. And we're going to play 90 miles an hour. And we're going to go play a high school football game against one of the best teams in the country. And we feel like we have an opportunity to go down and do some things and maybe surprise a few people along the way. And we're excited about, I'm not excited about driving 3 hours, but I'm excited about 7 o'clock Friday night.
Just competing and doing something different that you've never done, and letting kids experience something that they'll never experience ever again.
Well, it's the elite. I've been in the county. This is my 21st year as a head coach in this county, and grew up here. So I'm 47 years old. Been here all my life, and there's never been a game in our county that's went and played on a national level against that kind of competition ever. I mean, all the great teams, you know, of Riverdale in the past, the great Oakland teams.
Well, no matter where you go, I think if you mention high school football, what is it? De La Salle, Hoover.
Right.
They're in the top three teams in the nation as far as people, as far as notoriety, like a Notre Dame or
and
something.
some of that's because of the show they did years ago when
Right.
Rush Probst was still there, and you know it was on MTV or whatever. I didn't like
Two-a-days.
it, whatever it was, but shoot, man, I mean, there's nobody in our county ever played a game like this. I mean, and I want to play one like this every year, to be honest with you. I mean, obviously some different circumstances happened for us to get this game this year. You know, Bowling Green canceled and all those kind of things, but if I had my way, we would have one of these games every year. I mean, it's on a national stage. It's what your program wants to be. It's, I mean, we've got a lot of notoriety here in the state of Tennessee, you know, the last few years, but, you know, our main goal is still to win the gold ball first and foremost. I mean, that's our goal, but
Along the way, challenge yourself and see what it's
play
like.
the best out there. I mean, if you want to be that kind of program, then just keep playing the best, you know, play the best teams. I mean, when I got to Smyrna, you know, 21 years ago, the first thing when I got to make a schedule, and we were a 4A school back then, is the next year I called Gary and said, hey, Gary, I want to play Riverdale. And I said, why in the world would you want to do that? You know, I mean, they won all them state championships. Well, back at that time, I mean, my thought at Smyrna was if you want to be the best, you got to play against the best. In Riverdale, in 1993, 94, I mean, back in that time, Riverdale was the team. And that's not the case in the county anymore because everybody's good in our county. And it's more
Talent's kind of
yeah,
spread
it's
out.
Spread
and
out. It's
yeah.
not like it's not just one school
Right.
anymore. So, bottom line is, if you want to be traditionally known as a great team from Tennessee, number one, you got to win some gold balls, which is our first goal. But also, number two, you got to go play teams, you know, that are elite teams around and see how you stack up. And if you don't stack up, then you know you got work to do. And if you do stack up, then you got to continue to get better. So so you continue to win games like that. And so we're going down there, and it's going to be, you know, we can kind of see where we're at to some degree. But at the same time, we're going down there with the idea of we're going down there to win. We're not going down there to, you know, to say hi. I mean, we're going down there to win a football game first and foremost. We expect to win a football game. And our kids expect to win the football game. I'd be exceptionally disappointed if we don't win the football game. And it's against a national team, but that makes no difference. It's a bunch of 17-year-old kids. We got a bunch of 17-year-old kids, and we feel like we're pretty good. I know they're pretty good. They feel like they're good too. So it ought to be a great game. I mean, it's what high school football is supposed to be.
Definitely. All right, tomorrow night at the Met. That's just right outside of Birmingham in Hoover, Alabama. We'll all be there running two views. Bring Judy along, and I'll skate along the bottom. At 7 o'clock, the Buccaneers and the Blaze. Y'all be there.